if suppose you are selling a traditional outfit to someone who is a 50-year-old and you are showcasing the ads of a model who is a 28-year-old and wearing that particular outfit, the chances are that your product will not sell on that scale because the 50-year-old user will not relate to that product. This is one of the concepts of user-centric marketing, which primarily talks about that you cannot sell the product unless you understand your audience in great detail. In this video, I'll talk about one detailed example with empathy mapping and a tool that I heavily use for audience research. On that note, let's get started. Welcome to Rocket. So I have created this small presentation in order to make you understand the concept of user-centric marketing. Let's begin with understanding this in great detail. Suppose you are a Photoshop expert and you want to sell online Photoshop course. You come up with a concept, you make a course, and in order to promote that, you have made a mock-up and now you want to sell it. You did your audience research. Literally, you came up with 5 types of audiences that could probably be interested in buying your course. First one, suppose, would be users of canva.com. Second would be job as social media marketer, people who are actually having a job as a social media marketer. Third, people who are visiting or are users of behance.net. Fourth could possibly be people who are using Adobe, Lightroom, Illustrator or related other Adobe products. And fifth one could possibly be people who are website designers who use Photoshop for creating mockups and could use for other CSS Pro designs. You create your ads, you run ads for all. From a starting perspective, you start running ads for each type of audience. But over the time period, you realize that there is a certain drop, maybe in the performance of first one, who are the users of canva.com, and second one, who probably are having a job as a social media marketer. You want to eradicate this problem. You want users of canva.com to find your course more relatable. You want people who have a job as social media marketer to find your course more relatable. And how will you do that? You will try and understand that why do users use canva.com? Because of maybe templates and the ease of interface. You can pitch your course maybe like a way, say, canva.com users heavily rely on templates. We already know that. So you can also say that you can create your own templates on Photoshop as well, and you can literally sell those templates via that. So this could be a type of pitch so that you can relate to users of canva.com. Second, job as a social media marketer, you want to relate your Adobe Photoshop course to them. So what will you do? You will understand what does a social media marketer do day in and day out. They try to be really particular for branding and the type of interface they use while designing any social media marketing posts. So you can mold your advertising message the way you are promoting your course to the social media marketer. You can align the message of that ad by saying that I will teach you a way to properly align with branding, brand identity, typefaces, type kits, and all that will help you get better with social media marketing, and you will get faster designs as well. So you need to change your pitch in order to understand the customer, because understanding the customer and changing the messaging according to that is the golden key to user-centric marketing. So in order to understand the audience better, we do this practice which is called empathy mapping. And the first question to this is, what does your user see? We basically try to understand the environment the user belongs to. We want to understand what are the other courses in the market that are being offered to that person. what is the environment and the aura of somebody who is likely to buy a Photoshop course, what is the environment that they belong to, what is the friend's behavior of somebody who is basically your potential audience. They maybe are struggling in their advanced techniques of Photoshop, they maybe are, and they maybe are having issues with their friends always bugging them for can you edit my photo or something like that. So this is basically the environment. I'm just stating an example. Now, what do they hear? What do they hear consistently? So their friends keep on telling them again that you are a graphic designer, so can you help me for free, or can you design a logo for me for free? What does their boss say to them? So their boss is probably having unrealistic expectations of designing maybe 15 to 20 graphics a day. And I want to also understand what are the influencers that they are following saying at this particular trend, or it's at this particular time. So I will understand that maybe their influencers are particularly talking about advanced techniques or something that they can relate to, like I see most of the graphic designers heavily using a quote: stop thinking, start doing, start creating. So every type of influencer is somewhere promoting the content or concept of start creating. Now we want to talk about what does the user think and feel. What really counts for that person? Maybe somebody who is probably interested in Adobe Photoshop is really counting on the aspirations that they have, or really counting on being better with everyday practice, the major preoccupations. So what is the industry, or what kind of courses, or what kind of diplomas do they particularly have? What is the worry, what is the aspiration? Every person who is oriented to graphic designing somewhere is looking upward towards being a creative director. So giving the proper guidance could be one of the things that people can focus on while pitching their customer for this Photoshop course. What does the person who's the user say or do? So generally graphic designers who are probably interested in a Photoshop course are very observant, because it is a basic creative aspect of a graphic designer that they are very observant and keen about certain very particular things. Most of them even say that they have a OCD of being very particular about things. Appearance as a general could be one thing, behavior towards other could be other thing. Now we want to conclude this empathy mapping into the pain they have. So pain could be fears, frustrations, obstacles. Suppose even after 4 years of rigorous work in graphic designing aspect, they are not able to get the promotion. They are having a very monotonic routine. They are not happy with it. Obstacles could be particularly maybe having a proper communication, or not able to clear a higher level interview. And gains, what will they gain if the pain is solved? So if the pain of having proper guidance can solve their gain of moving upward towards the promotion, this could probably help them gain, and this will actually help them take an action of buying the course. So this was just an example of empathy mapping. But how to get answers for all these questions? So some of the ways could be, you can interview your existing customers, people who have already bought your course. If this course have been running for a longer time, you can interview your existing customers and ask them how was your experience, what did you like, what did you dislike. You can install a survey after the purchase using Hotjar or any kind of survey tool. You can install the tool at the thank you page of the purchase, and you can ask what made you buy this product. So let's say out of the 1,000 people who bought this product, 15 to 20 will definitely fill that form. You can listen to the sales recordings if there are actually people who are calling the prospects to actually sell the product. You can listen to the sales recording very carefully, and you'll understand the concerns that they are having before taking a decision to purchase the product. And last but not the least, You can observe and research using tools. So, which tools are primarily used to do this type of research? I'll share with you a proper tool that I heavily use for audience research before even beginning a marketing campaign. Let's get started with Spark Toro. But if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. And there is an online reputation management thing or a raw talk interview where I have conducted a podcast, and you can refer to that. Let's get started with sparktoro.com. So this is sparktoro.com, and I heavily recommend you to get started with this product because firstly, the free plan is there and it gets you the basic understanding of what your user is probably doing on the internet. So first I'll click on try it for free and I'll register myself. Once I have registered, I will actually write what is the product that I'm selling. Suppose I'm selling the same example, Photoshop course. So I'm going to click on my audience frequently talks about this. I can use any of it, but let's just go ahead and click on search. So this will actually give you all the insights that they probably are using on their profile bios, the hashtags in the content that they are likely following, and the audience size that is currently large. These people follow the social media accounts of obviously Adobe Photoshop, Smashing Magazine, Adobe. The websites that they engage with are over here. You can obviously look at all the websites. It is going to give you a larger view. The gems like something around this can also be considered because they use tools like Creative Suite, Adobe Fonts, and 6 revisions by WebFX. Others could be this. The podcast that they listen to is this. You will get the mindset of what they are looking at. The YouTube channels that they follow is this. And also you can go around in greater detail. Suppose you want to know more about social media or let's say audience insights. You'll get all the ideas of what is the social media that they are following. Also understanding the audience insights in great detail. Here are the words that they are using: creative, tools, process, creating, advice, journey. And city level geographic distribution is also here. Most of the people in Greater London area are heavy users or heavy content consumers who are talking about such kind of a course. And you'll also get the data of hashtags. You go ahead and look into this tool in great detail and let me know how it was in the comments below. I hope this video was insightful and resourceful. I'll see you in more such videos full of learning. Happy user-centric marketing to you.